Welcome, Secretary General. Thank you so much, Chairperson of the session, Honorable Catherine Mavenjina. I want to take this opportunity to thank my roommate, Mr. Lumumba Patrick. First of all, for accepting to come and share what he does as a father, as a husband, as a leader, as a mentor in the community where we live. But in a special, I want to thank Honorable Dombo, Lumala Emmanuel, and Hajat Medina, and Honorable Charles Segwao, because they are the ones who insisted that he should come. And I want to say, I vehemently opposed, but I was overpowered, because the strategy they used when they wanted him to come, and I said no, I don't want to take my husband to politicians. I want to keep him where I keep him. What they did was to get in touch with him direct without going through me. So it was only the other day that he told me that Central Executive Committee sat and he said I should go to Chankwan's and facilitate. And I told him, if SEC took a decision, then those are my bosses, let it be. I want to thank you, Mr. Lumumba, but I also want to thank them for the strategy. Mr. Lumumba is what he has told you. Whenever I was beginning a sentence, I was going to say, he's going to say again more secrets. He's going to reveal. Because that is him. That is him. What I want to say that he didn't say, because this is what he keeps talking about, he left out what I think we should share with you. The issue of a love bank account. In marriage is like a bank account. When you have your spouse, whatever you do, your actions, whatever you say, either you deposit or you withdraw. When you do something good, you deposit on the account. When you do something wrong, or hurt him, or annoy him, or her, you withdraw. So in your marriage, whatever you do, you always imagine, am I banking or am I withdrawing? The moment the withdrawals are higher than the deposits, the marriage goes. And you don't have to be present all the time to deposit. You are here. Send a message and say, for our lunch we had good portion and rice and peas. That is a sign that you are informing her that, my dear, I'm with you, even if I'm not next to you. You are depositing. Send a message that I'm here in the military fatigue, but you know, it is too long. But this is what I have. It means you are recognizing his or that he exists in your life. When you're at home, do what you can do, but do it with love. Don't cook food and then you back at people. The food is here. Nobody will eat the food. It must be served with love. I want to tell you members, this Mr. Lumumba, with his 2 sons, I'm the minority in my house. I'm the only female. I have him as a male with his 2 sons, so I'm the minority. 1 woman against 3 men. And who is to cook? I used to cook. But when the boys grew up, they had to go and take lessons for cooking. The 3 of them. So it is them to cook. I don't cook in my house. And the secret is, by the way, any man who can clean a house, any man who can cook, no woman can tease him. He will always be strong. Women always take advantage of men because that is a field you always fear to go into, and you go for a girl because she can cook for you food without looking at other issues. But if a boy knows how to keep himself clean, keep the house clean, and cook, that means can take his time studying, looking at the different options, and makes up his mind after consultation with the parents, even equally for the girl. That means somebody can take care of himself or herself. Members of parliament, especially those who are young, when you join parliament, outside there, the world thinks you have gone to the most immoral community, and that is parliament, that is politics. Your behavior will exonerate you. When I joined parliament, I was making 28 years in 2001, and I want to tell you, whenever I would have workshops, I would send him a message or tell him, tomorrow, this day, we have a workshop in this hotel. And if I'm to spend a night there, I have to send a message or tell him, I'm in room this, for transparency in my marriage. So that even if you wake up and write or say whatever you want to say, he said, she gave me the key by telling me the room, so that he can walk in any time to be sure of where I am, to come and check. But if you opaque, you'll have issues in your marriage. Try as much as possible to be transparent on issues of time, on issues of resources in your marriage. We have seen people becoming MPs. When you campaign in the village, you have this village woman campaigning, and you win and come to parliament. When you come to parliament, you now begin looking for those who have what the other one doesn't have, especially on external features. And you abandon her in the village, yet she's keeping the constituency. You take on somebody in Kampala. We had a member of parliament. We had a member of parliament in the... We don't have much time, members. We had a member of parliament in the 8th parliament. He had a wife in the village. She campaigned, and people listened because she was more of a community worker. For the husband, when the husband came to parliament, he now got to Kampala. 3 years, the MP passed on. But whatever he had acquired when he was an MP, because of the law, it was passed over to this Kampala girl. We now had to organize ourselves to contribute to the children and his wife in the village. Males, is that what you would want to do to your wives? Would you love a man to do that to your daughter? Why do it to somebody else's daughter? No, I'm talking about the men. I'll tell you about the women, because I also know. Yes. For women have been cheated left and right in parliament. What happens? In Kampala, those of you who are coming from villages, let me tell you, there are men in Kampala who drive very posh vehicles, expensive vehicles. They tuck in shirts like they are using mingling sticks. They always sit around big hotels in Kampala. So now you have come. Do you know what happens? They'll begin getting your numbers because they become public. Then you will come and drive, park near there. Bambi, you are in Yoka Corona, you are parking at Parliament because that's you have just come from Bujiri. That's how you are. Then he will come and park a monster of a vehicle. Then, hello, how are you? They give you business cards of companies that don't exist. And do you know what happens? By the time you realize this woman is gone, she has picked a loan against her salary given the man that they're investing. Next is to write stories about you in the papers, or even put your nude pictures on social media. Be careful. Yes, I've seen it happening. Yes, including this parliament, including this current parliament. We even had to engage the Prime Minister at his age to say, right on our Prime Minister, see what is happening. It's only you to save the situation. A young girl, what you would call private, had become public. Please have resources, a percentage for the family, a percentage for your constituents, and a percentage for saving. Save money. But also, you as a leader, what do you stand for? Your job, you have a lot of work. You cannot do everything. What do you stand for? Are you going for education? Are you going to pay extra attention to the girl child? Are you going to pay extra attention to the different vulnerable groups? You cannot do everything. Women, here we are. For me, I've had all sizes of my body. I was small. One thing that I've never been tall. But I've been big, I've been small. I keep oscillating in those. Make sure when it comes to whether in our politics or your marriage, look neat, be clean as a woman. Don't come in politics and think you forgot the female gender. Remain a woman. I'm a Secretary General with a lead vehicle and guns both at the back and the front. But when I enter my gate, I'm Mrs. Lumumba. Yes. Because at the end of the day, when you leave Parliament, because you will leave, whether you want or not, you do what? You leave. When you leave, you came when you had a family. Your family has been with you. Live with your family when you are in Parliament. As you exit Parliament, it is your family that receives you. Those of you who have ever lost elections will share with us. Your family cannot forsake you. So while you are in Parliament, with all of the lights, with all of the front, you know when you go for functions and you're a member of Parliament, you sit at the front. If it is serving, you are the ones who eat top layer. You remember in school, top layer. But when you leave, your family will be there with you. Move with your family. Even when you are in front or back bench, be with your family. Members, right now, they are going to begin, if they have not started, that please, they've asked us for your CV. We are vetting people for you to be a minister. They would want to con you money. Don't. Those are con men. Those are the people who tuck in their shirts, like using mingling sticks. There are many in Kampala. Be careful with them. Women, be a woman of honor. If you are not a woman of honor to your husband, even if you give him money, nothing, you must be a woman of honor. And when it comes to children, I went through this. I do not have time for my sons. I gave birth to a child when I was in Parliament, 2002. He's now 18 years. What I would do, I would pass a supermarket, buy toys. This pass a shop, buy shirts and trousers. Buy blanket, buy this. One time the boy told me, Mommy, it's not about these things you are buying for me. Mommy, I want to be with you. So, even if you are providing for your family, have time for your family. Have time for your children. The time to bond with your children is between 0 and 12 years. Once you miss out on 12 years, even if you fall sick, they will never come to look after you or take you to hospital because they never bonded with you. A child learns to say what is good, what is wrong, what is right, to restrain between 0 and 12 years. If you don't teach your child self-restraint before 12 years, you have missed it. Whatever you provide for the child, you have wasted time. So, he has talked about the family prayer. But what I want to end is that there is increase of cases of depression and mental illness amongst children of politicians, because the man and the woman are all competing to be out of the home. Nobody has time for the children. We have left them for the TVs and social media to educate them, to groom them, to nurture them. And where are they ending? You've read of cases in papers where a child, depression has gone to the level that a child has to get a razor blade to cut himself or herself to get peace. Have you ever heard of that? It's depression. Why? Missed out on parenting at a certain age in life. But those are the people who are going to become leaders in our community. Then we begin saying corruption. We begin saying this one has run away with this. That means it didn't get enough time. We as leaders, yes, we want to lead the community, but we should that's the one. We should have time for our children. What I want to say is that you as a leader, you are the model in that community. The males, the females, the young, the old in that constituency will look to you. Ask yourself, if the younger boys, young girls looked at you, what are you known for? Running away with the people's wives because you used it as a strategy to win a vote? Because that also, there are people also deploy that. Or going with people's husbands because you thought this man who makes a lot of noise, let me give what I can give, what I treasure most, and you caused issues on other people's marriages. You have to look at yourself. Will they remember you for that? Would that be good or not? Is your family known to be a family of those who steal on the village? Is your family known to be those, are you the MOP? Are you the one who is known for having gone out with the biggest number of women in the constituency? What are you known for? Are you a leader because you are voted, and because you are voted, you terrorize those who voted you? If you can't be useful to them, don't be dangerous to them. NRM oye! Museveni oye! I want to end by requesting men, the women are putting a lot of efforts to prepare their children for marriage. But you men, you don't put in much effort. We teach our children, our daughters, to be clean, to be neat, to take care of themselves. You don't teach your sons to shave. You don't teach your sons to comb. You don't teach your sons to wash. You don't teach your sons to brush. You don't teach your sons to polish shoes. You don't teach your sons to put on clean socks. You don't teach your sons to do this. So our clean daughters come and find your sons who are not clean. Can you please have time for your sons? They should be neat. Make sure they make their beds. Make sure they clean their rooms. Make sure they wash. Tell them. Nobody would want to have somebody dirty. The way you, a man, would not want to have a dirty woman is the way our daughters should not find also your sons not clean. I want to, the video man, wait, my last sentence. I want to request you, please, as you do your politics, also endeavor to save the family. Begin with your family and